War is a topic of vital importance, a subject of inquiry that cannot be ignored. It is a matter of life and death. It can be a road to safety or to ruin.
In an alternate version of our world, brought to the brink of total collapse, rival nations fight for global domination, and elite pilots in futuristic combat suits wage war on the battlefield of tomorrow. Now, 6 brave soldiers on a seemingly routine rescue mission will encounter more than they bargained for and uncover a dangerous secret that could change their world if they live long enough to see it. Mavericks Origins Volume 1.
Now on Indiegogo.
I was asking if it was on.
Hey everybody. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. So it's the pre-show, and we're still waiting for Thomas to show up. So it's me. So let's talk about a little bit of news. This happened today. So, yeah. Frank DiDio, former head of DC Comics, who went and was teaching at the Kubert School. Him and comic book legend to his right there, Frank Miller, have just announced that they are making a publishing company, their own publishing company. And they're getting back into basically they're going to just be doing like graphic novels and stuff to start. And Dan said, because I follow him on the Facebook, he said there'll be some art and images and more information to follow. They just made it official today. Oh, look. Oh, welcome to the pre-show. Oh, can't hear you. Technical difficulties with Thomas. Thomas can hear me. We just can't hear him. Nope. There we go. Okay, now I can hear you. So, did you hear the big news? Frank DiDio and
Hello,
Dan.
hello.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello. Hello. Hello.
Oh, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Hey, my kids cut the freaking headphones off all the time.
Oh, damn it. Did you hear the big news that Dan DiDio and Frank Miller started their own publishing company?
No, that's what I was asking. So that's Dito.
Yep. That's
Damn.
the Dan DiDio, Danny on the left, and
Yeah,
Frank
from
DC.
yeah, I recognize Frank.
And
when did they start it? I mean, just like today.
they just announced it today. Yeah, it's on Dan's personal Facebook page.
Who have they got lined up?
They didn't say.
Really?
But I'll put this off so I can not dox myself on the show. And working with Frank to build a new exciting mix of new and returning graphic novel series, creative teams, and promo art coming your way soon.
Huh.
So he just announced it
See,
today on his personal page.
And they okay, we're having technical difficulties here. So they must have been working on it for a little while. So if they launched and they've got some correct, teams and everything together. And the thing on that would be cool is, I mean, more comics is great comic is good news.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, I won't say caliber of Frank, but now the other bad thing on that is Frank's I won't say a little washed up. His last handful of things have not been that good. He's not what he once was.
Mm-hmm.
But he'd be able to bring in people who really want to do that cutting edge stuff like he used to do. And it's not saying he still can't do it. It's just saying maybe it's editorial constraint or whatever. Because he's like 70-something years old now?
Yep. Other comic news yesterday, there's pictures of Kevin Eastman outside some big mall comic book shops holding up the copy of The Last Ronin #5. Finally.
I saw that. I'm going to read it when the trade finally comes out.
I read the first two, and they were awesome.
Did you?
But they already announced like the hardcover coming, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna buy the hardcover.
Yeah, that's what I did. I mean, I missed the first one, and then I tried to go get it, and it was, it was stupid expensive. And I mean, for a new comic, I mean, it wasn't crazy, $20 or $30 or whatever it was. And I'm like, I'm not going to spend that. I can spend that on and get this one, and then still have to buy all the other ones, or I'll just wait and get the trade.
Yeah.
And it's 5 issues. The art looks great.
Oh, it's awesome. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, art looks great. And we did Turtles one time before.
Yeah, we did the first Turtles.
Yep, first Turtles. Yep, back when we were doing crazy independent comics for a little bit.
Yeah. I want to share this because McFarlane just put up a pre-order.
A link for the guns?
No, not sadly not the guns now.
Not yet.
But
Oh,
check that.
sweet.
He's doing Blackest Night. So
I saw you shared those. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah, I made a little TikTok video there. So Deathstorm looks so badass that I might actually I'm thinking that I'm gonna pre-order this set. I'm probably gonna pre-order it through Amazon, because when you pre-order anything through Amazon, they don't charge you until they're coming out.
Oh, sweet. So you have a little bit to save up for it.
Yeah, and hopefully they don't cancel the orders. I was thinking ordering this whole set, and I'll explain that in a minute, and then pre-ordering an extra Fire Deathstorm here, because it looks so bad. So I'm going to want to take him out of the package. So this set has a Build-A-Figure, which is pretty damn rad. I don't know. I'll explain. I'll go through the list, and then I'll explain the only beef I have with the Build-A-Figure is the fact that usually the Build-A-Figure is always a character that everybody's going to want, and or most people are going to want, and it's just to force you to buy characters that you don't want to buy. Of course, there's a whole bunch of people that are like McFarlane crazy and want to buy every single thing that he puts out.
Oh God, I think you put me on his page, the McFarlane toy page, and it is very active. It's pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm. So this set is Deathstorm. Then there's Batman, who looks not bad. Then there's a Superman that looks. He's like all black, and he's got like the silver stuff, the silver atrocity stuff, or whatever the villain for this thing was called. I can't remember his name right now. I had a big giant figure with a sickle.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And but I think it was because it was it was a dead Superman. So I think at one point in the story was I think it was like old school Superman, like JSA Superman. Like in Crisis, he would have been the old Superman with like the gray on his temples.
Yeah.
But they don't say, so who knows? And then there is a Kyle Rayner figure.
Oh, sweet.
And Kyle, of course, is not dead. He ends up in the story becoming the White Lantern and able to control every spectrum. He controls the whole rainbow. The Build-A-Figure is Atrocities, the leader of the Red Lantern Corps.
Oh, I can't remember what all the different colors do. I know
red
green is will, black is death, red's anger, right?
Red is rage, yeah, anger and rage, yeah. So he was the first one, and the figure looks great. My only problem is like even Deathstorm here comes with a lantern. Atrocities doesn't come with a lantern, and he's a Build-A-Figure, so they could have easily put him in like anywhere. So
put a lantern somewhere.
Yeah, so the four figures together, you get that. That. I remember when they were doing DC Direct was doing like some of these, or like the zombie versions of these or whatever, and somewhere in my huge mess of action figures and toys, I think he's like down on the floor here somewhere. Is like a zombie Aquaman. I had to buy him because I love Aquaman, and the figure just looks so badass.
People just don't understand how awesome Aquaman is, especially the old stuff. They just don't get it.
Yeah, I know, but I figured I'd share that because that was like, I looked at that and go, I don't know how many of these figures I'm gonna buy because this figure's gonna like blow up. It's already blowing up. Everybody's like gaga over that one.
Yeah, I guess I don't watch the figures like I used to. Every now and then, I'll see some I like and pick them up. But
bless you, My Little Pony.
He said, "Bless you." Thank you.
It's all right.
But, yeah, I'm sorry I'm a little late. I had to finish reading the Silver Surfer part of this comic. It was long.
Oh my god! I know we're both Star Trek fans.
Yeah.
I just scrolled across this.
Uh-oh.
Old school meme. Vulcans have always been known as the intellectual puppets of the Federation. Yeah, well, your mother's so fat she outweighs the needs of the many.
Yes, I've seen that one before.
I'm like, okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, I've seen that one before. I share a lot of those dead William Shatner and old Star Trek posts all the time. It's just crazy.
I just had to share that one. So, did you get anything cool this week?
Nothing. Nope. Not this week. I've done nothing but work. I got my new comics from last week, which I managed to open the box and I read She-Hulk. I read the new She-Hulk. That was it.
Oh, cool.
So she's starting her law practice back. Thank God that Jen never cleans out her apartment because she's left all of She-Hulk's old clothes there, and so she has something to wear.
That's probably good. Or not.
We're going to look at, was it a Fantastic Four 275?
Oh, yeah. I didn't get anything, but I got to sit down Wednesday with Rich Ayala, who is like myself, a Rhode Island native, and is friends with one of the comic shops in Bellingham, Mass. That I am, and was actually had a short story published because that shop used to have their own new talent like comic showcase, kind of like a Dark Horse Presents deal.
Yeah.
And years ago, Rich did like a little mini story in there, but he's got a really cool art style. He's got a book. There's like 16 days left on the campaign on IGG, and it's called Roach Balls. It's kind of like a very adult comic book because of the subject matter and the humor and everything. So it's it's raw. It's kind of like what did I say yesterday? Like Mad Balls meets Sin City. But the his art style is like very animated, but animated like Fritz the Cat.
Oh my God, really?
And there's the art style. And there's even
the big round shapes, kind of bubbly.
Yeah, there's even a there's even a tip of the hat to Fritz, like a scene from Fritz the Cat in there.
That was, if you didn't ever, I don't know if you had Amazon Prime, but at one point, the movie was on Amazon Prime. You could go watch it. I watched it.
Oh wow.
It was a little rough.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, I've got it.
Oh, do you?
I own the movie. Yeah.
You got a copy of it? Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
but let me see if I can. Oh, here it is. So, a friend of ours in the YouTube community, Lloyd Finatra, remixed a whole bunch of like audio clips and visuals from the book and drew like a whole bunch of art. And one of the guys talking through it because he was featured on EVS's channel. You know EVS, yeah.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to play the video, but I got to call this up right because it's showing all my stuff. There we go. So I'll bring us down here so it gets bigger. And
Any day now.
I know.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Rich Ayala and his Roach Balls.
Welcome to Cat Shit Island.
Welcome to Cat Shit Island.
Oh my God.
This radioactive toxic wasteland. A toxic radioactive nightmare.
that whole opening just slapped because cat shit is a funny word. And then boom, into this hip hop thing with like profanity.
To survive the freaks, beasts, and gangs.
What's in it? All the good shit, homies. Guess what, motherfuckers? The art is complete.
You're gonna need some Rich Ayala's
Ayala, is that Vita's brother?
Roach Balls.
Guys, okay, if you thought that was funny, you want to support Rich Ayala, back Roach Balls. This looks hilarious.
Back it today on Indiegogo.
This is great. I thought it was just profanity, and I thought you were an insane person. But it turns out that you are a comic book creator and a really, really funny cartoonist.
I love this.
Fuck you, Rich. I'm gonna have to back this again right now.
Rich Ayala's Roach Balls. Back it today on Indiegogo.
We'll be promoting the living fuck out of this.
I love it.
Gotta say, we're blown away by your work.
Sully Kukaracha
This guy's fantastic,
is
dude.
one roach you can't stamp out. In demand now on Indiegogo.
Yeah, I like Roach Balls. I never thought I'd really say that aloud.
You forgot the NSF.
Oh no, I
It's
put
a
that
little
up.
late now.
I put up that before you got in here.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I've got to pre-warn you. I want to show this. It's a little rough.
There we go.
It does look a little like Fritz the Cat.
Yeah, I know. The art is kind of like, it looks so cool. All his like top tiers like sold out like almost instantaneously. It was pretty cool.
Really?
And Saturday afternoon I'm going to do a special with Luke Stone, who was on a ventilator with and very, very sick from the Delta variant.
Oh Lord.
Himself and Randy Zimmerman both. And Randy's older than us. Randy's the first person in his area and possibly ever that came off the ventilator and lived. They were both vented and both had Delta.
Yeah.
But Luke's back. He's a man of Christ. He's actually a pastor and a comic book creator, and is just about to wrap up his project, his newest issue of his ongoing series called Hybrid Sons of Gods, which is basically his tip of the hat to X-Men, like Chris Claremont X-Men. And a little bit
old school X-Men.
Old school X, when it was good. And this book is fantastic and has some like really cool covers and everything. So Luke is back from that, and he's getting better and stronger every day, and working on getting the use of his left arm back, which has been a little tough on him. But he's back on camera. He does a podcast every morning. It's on Facebook and his YouTube channel, Luke Stone Studios, called Nerd Bacon. And it's all
breakfast.
Yeah, it's all like indie comic stuff and everything. He's on a couple other shows, and that's a lot of fun. But let's get into this. On with the show. Let's put us back on the side.
Yep. There it goes. Yeah. So like I said, I picked this to read because of the Silver Surfer story, but kind of because of the Silver Surfer story. And dude, this is some 60s stuff. This issue is very 60s. It's almost, damn, we've got all these characters we've created, and we got to come up with a story for an annual. Let's throw some crap together and see how it works.
Mm-hmm.
There is a big teaser in here for people who don't know. We'll get to that in a sec. But you just look at the cover, because King Size Fantastic Four Annual number 5 or King Size Special number 5, dude, it's got Psycho Man, new villain, the Inhumans, and we're gonna throw Black Panther in there just for giggles. Like, really? It's kind of crazy.
So are you talking about why this book is a minor key?
Yes, minor. Dude, I was trying to buy one online. You see how much these damn things are going for?
Yeah, I looked. It's like,
I'm like, holy crap! That's why I got outbid.
It's not very often, but every once in a while, I had to say, "Oh, thank God for digital comics," because you never get to read them otherwise.
No, and I did buy the giant size Fantastic Four number 5, which reprints the first story, but doesn't print the Silver Surfer story in it. It's like a backup issue, like Fantastic Four 33 or something's in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, that's not what I wanted to read. I wanted to read the Silver Surfer story. I wanted to read the other one, as the main story as well. But I'm like, damn, dude, it doesn't even in there.
Yeah. And I remember you telling me this, and off camera, and it was like, you were so pissed. I bought it because I wanted to read the Silver Surfer story. What the hell, dude? So it's the first appearance of Psycho Man. It's the first time Black Panther meets the Inhumans.
Yes. Yep.
And
now I'm going.
I'll let you give the big reason.
Okay, well, the big reason is, we'll start off on the first page. So the big reason here, we kind of see Sue has passed out for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody's a little worried. Man, they rush her in. Put her down. I get taps, give her some water, tap her face. Hey, are you all right? They try and call the doctor and everything, and the doctor can't make a house call. And Sue finally wakes up. She's, hey, yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right. So, and Sue and Reed, who everybody gives Reed tons of crap for being just a horrible husband, is obviously really loving in this issue. Something is going on. So while that's going on, the Thing flies off. We'll talk his little adventure in a minute. But so when the Thing comes back, we're going to fast forward to it after his adventure. And then so here it comes back. The Thing comes back and he's like, hey, we got to go and stop this psycho I just met in my previous adventure. And we've got an announcement. They're going to have a baby. So this is the first mention that Sue is pregnant with Franklin. Of course, everybody's, that's a baby, and on the next page, they're all like way ecstatic, probably super ecstatic because, at least they're married. It's not like out of wedlock or anything. And they ask Ben to be the godfather.
And Ben goes nutso.
Yeah, he's like nutso and everything. And then after everybody calms down, he's like, hey, well, there's some, a nutso that attacked me at Alicia's. We have to get out of here and save the world because no nephew of mine is going to be brought around in this world with a lunatic running around. We got to go stop him. But yes. Now, what's funny is I did not even know that it was announced in this issue when it was. I knew the next issue, the next King Size Annual number 6, is the birth of Franklin. So they announce it here, which means they plan this damn story out a year in advance.
Yeah.
And in the next issue is when they actually have him. And it introduces another new villain in the next one. And that's a Nihilus. And that sucker's even harder to get than a 5. I was like, really? But no idea. I did not know that they announce it here. And like I said, a year later, they actually have Franklin's born. But that is why this is a key book.
And that was the big issue. And didn't you say this was the first solo Silver Surfer story?
Yes. Yeah. And this is the first solo Silver Surfer story by himself outside of not interacting with the Fantastic Four. It's just a backup story in this book. So between all of that is why this is a key.
And there's a lot of there's a huge amount of speculation now that they've let loose that that the Illuminati is going to be in the new Doctor Strange movie. As we know, because Reed was a member of the Illuminati, so was T'Challa.
Yep.
And there were a couple of spoilers that got released today, like photo spoilers that got released about the movie.
Okay, I saw the Patrick Stewart one. Who was the other one? Have they finally done the man in? Is Namor going to be there?
Not quite. I'm scrolling down because my buddy Andrew posted it. Here it is. 2 big cameos that they just gave up. And I don't want to dox Andrew on the thing, so I'll just go like that. We'll disappear the comic for a second. And we already knew Charles Xavier, aka Captain Picard, was going to be in it because we heard his voice in the trailer.
Yeah.
So this is they actually show the his hand outreaching, but I guess they've got him in the '90s animated series wheelchair, like the hover chair.
Really?
But this is the big one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are they going to bring her into the regular Marvel movies?
There's going to be a ton of appearances. Like as we see right here, there's like Captain Carter, but who is that person on the far right whose hands are glowing red? Could that be the new Johnny Storm?
Possibly.
Or it could be Nitro. We'll have to wait and find out. The other news on the other quick news on that movie is it's been banned in a bunch of countries.
I saw that. I saw it was banned in like Saudi Arabia for like a 15-second clip or something. It's a 15-second clip.
It was banned in Saudi Arabia. It was banned in Egypt and China.
What's the 15 seconds?
Because American Chavez appears in the movie, and she is a gay character, as she is in the comics.
Really?
So it was banned from that because, they
can't be gay and be Muslim at the same time.
Previously, on Twitter, until the recent takeover, all the blue check marks and Twitter employees used to call everybody, all those ists and other things every time you disagreed with anything that they wanted. But there are some countries, Russia included, but I'm pretty sure we're not sending anything to Russia, where stuff like that is banned. The same way the actor that played Finn in Last Jedi was pissed because when the posters went up in China, he was either off the posters because apparently China is very racist, and there's a lot of countries where it's basically still illegal to be homosexual. So
I did. So I didn't know. I didn't realize she was in it.
She's in it, and I like the character. And I like the character. I actually played the character in in one of the Marvel mobile games, and ain't got a problem with the character because when they introduced the character, she was introduced, as this. She was a lesbian character, from the get-go. So they actually invented a new character instead of
changing
DC,
an older character.
Instead of just being like, all of a sudden, after all these women, Robin likes the sausage. One of the Robins, not all of the Robins. Okay.
I've only read a handful.
And the same thing with Batwoman. I was fine with it. But
I like Batwoman.
So I loved the first volume of Batwoman. It was great. JM's artwork is like spectacular, but
that's what carried the first volume of Batwoman.
Yeah,
his art's beyond.
The TV show is atrocious, but
Oh, I haven't watched the TV show.
Yeah, and I could like they had her before they fired Ruby. What's her name from the role? She appeared in like one of the crossovers, and they didn't announce it or anything. And I'm like, whoa, this is cool. And then they did the TV show, and I'm like, they tried to do a TV version of JM's stuff with between Batwoman and Alice and stuff, and it was just terrible. But back to subjects at hand. I ranted enough already.
All right. So, get back to where we are. Okay, so after the thing realizes that Sue's going to be all right, and they're going to be there, Reed and Sue are being a little mushy, so he decides, I'm going to take off. So he's going to go see Alicia. And, of course, he flies off to see Alicia, and then next panel, we get to meet this new villain, who they conveniently tell us his name on the first page. His name is Psycho Man. And apparently he has, Psycho Man. He has the ability to, he has the ability to use his little machine to create fear, doubt, or hate in his opponents, like a little rake. And it's very strong. I mean, even this guy, like, is one of his helplings, is just giving him all kind of poop. And he shoots him with his fear ray, and it makes the guy so afraid he leaps out of the window and kills himself. And if he lives, it doesn't matter, because he won't be there. When he gets to the police station, they'll just be like, "Hey, that's not him. Let me tell my buddy. I'll call him back."
And he replaces the guy that killed himself with these three weirdos. One who looks like he's a reject from the old Marvel Kid Colt.
He looks like Kid Colt.
Yeah, it looks like Kid Colt's like evil twin or something. And they've all got like these cool like ray gun weapons and everything. And
yeah, he looks like Kid Colt. Only this Kid Colt broke into Wonder Woman's house and stole her damn magic lasso.
Yeah. It's like, oh, cowboy's got to have a lasso.
Electrified.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he replaces them with these guys, and they start giving him crap. I'm like, dude, he just shot this guy and made him jump out the damn window. Now you're going to give him crap? So he just hits them with the doubt ray. I'm not going to kill these guys. I'm just going to make them doubt themselves. And they feel so terrible. They're like, oh, my God, please, we can trust you. We'll be there and everything. And they just fall down on themselves. And he's like, oh, yep, no problem. Yeah,
kind of like your dog, how you imagine what he's saying when you go, come on, sorry, but it's time to go to the vet. Not the vet. I'll be a good boy. I'll be a good boy.
Exactly. Don't turn your back on me. And he just leaves. I'm like, it's kind of weird. Now we find out that here, Psycho Man's trying to get his help because he's got these parts he needs for his ultimate weapon, which is a psycho ray gun. And for some reason, the damn UPS driver took him to the wrong address. And
the guy who he made jump out the window sent it to the wrong address, and it was a very wrong address indeed. We're about to find out.
Yes. So he leaves. He's like, hey, it was delivered to a blind girl. It shouldn't be no problem. And
right there, you know what blind girl it is.
Yes, it's Alicia. So this big ass box is at her house, and she's like, "Hey Ben, I can't open it. Well, one, I can't see a way to open it. Can you help me open it because I'm blind?" And he's like, "Hey, I should be able to open this," but he can't find a damn seam on it either. There's no tape. There's no nothing. So while he's fumbling around, Psycho Man and his compadres there show up, and they zap Ben with some kind of ray, and he turns around, and of course when he turns around, there's a giant like dragon monster there that jumps on Ben.
Yeah,
And
so he must have
just
zapped.
starts-
He must have zapped him with like fear, so like a creature just appeared out of his own imagination.
And it's-
So we're
and that's
gonna
what it
we're gonna
is.
call the villains Psycho Man and the Three Amigos.
Psycho Man and the Three Amigos, and their invisible monster crew.
Yeah,
Yeah. So this just terrible monster, which is, you know, essentially everything that Ben fears, just beats the living hell out of him, and it's actually just himself.
mm-hmm.
You know, it's all in his head. He's not getting beat up, but he's just reduced to a pulp. And you know, Alicia's not doing much better herself. So Psycho Man and the Three Amigos are then like, hey, you know, now that he's fought the imaginary creature, he's there. Pick up the box and get in the, you know, in the Psycho Man copter, and we're taking off.
Bless you.
Good Lord, God, she get any on her?
I don't know. You get any on you? Nope.
So they leave and head off. Now our story changes. So here is the Black Panther, who is, I did not know that in the early stories, apparently, I'm going to say this is the ocean and Wakanda is on the beach, or is this a giant lake? Because they don't say.
It's beachfront property.
It's
It's
beachfront properties. Okay,
it's
so
beachfront.
there's
It's an island, but it's beachfront property, and
so there's T'Challa and some more Wakandans who literally are just wearing like loincloths and have ray guns, walking along the beach. When
they
sees,
accidentally zap the rest of their clothes. That's why they're left with what they have.
that's why they're left with what they have. When he sees some people who have come up on the shore, so you know the Black Panther is like, whoa, you know, to anyone who desire harm. Did you notice this here? Who desire harm to the people of the Wakandas.
The Wakandas, not Wakanda, the Wakandas.
To the Wakandas.
So
Yeah,
this
so
this
is
could
it
just
plural?
be Wakanda was like a chain of islands in the Pacific, or like off the coast of Africa. We don't know.
Yeah, this is where they're trying to nail all this stuff down at this point.
Yeah.
So the Black Panther essentially sees Medusa, and God, dude, I just forgot his name. Anyway, one of the other Inhumans.
That's Korak.
And Korak. Okay, yeah, I don't know why it lost my mind. So he goes out there, and Medusa attacks him with her hair. And granted, he wasn't being the most like welcoming of guys, and then he gets upset when she attacks him. And of course, you know, they get in a giant fight, and she calls Black Bolt, who shows up and does nothing. And because T'Challa has the honor and all, he's like, he stops. He's like, I can't attack him because he's motionless. And you know, Black Bolt just stands there for a minute and makes the peace sign. If you didn't know what that was, it's this.
I thought that meant he was going to fly away, because he actually flies away.
Well, he does, but I mean, I don't know. That looks like the peace sign to me, and then he flies away right afterwards. Which, now, I did not know his powers were molecular energy, and he can actually cause water molecules to harden. I did not know that. So, is that just like a made-up power?
I don't
thought
know.
if he talked, he'd like hurt people. He was super strong and could fly.
And he had other powers, and of course, obviously, we know we don't want him to open his mouth, because
No,
even a whisper is like massively destructive.
Yes. So he flies off a little bit offshore, finds a little small island there, and then creates a bridge out of the water and summons the rest of the Inhumans, and they head off that way with Black Panther and tow. And as they're going, he hears them talking about the Human Torch and, you know, the Fantastic Four and all. And Black Panther's like, hey, if they're friends with the Fantastic Four, then I'm friends with them. So I've got to help them. So they show up, and Karnak manages to open up it's like a I guess, a eggshell dome surface area. There's like a hidden cave or hidden fortress below. But then that's when their story changes back, and we've discussed this. This is the baby, Franklin's announcement. Which after that, so Ben and them take off. The Fantastic Four go to find Psycho Man, and they go to find him, and lo and behold, Psycho Man is actually back at his headquarters, which I'm guessing is in or near Wakanda there.
Yeah, it's like in that dome.
Because that's in the dome that Karnak found, he opened. Because when the Fantastic Four are heading off, but the Black Panther and the Inhumans get there first. And of course, the Psycho Man and his little henchman here are actually doing pretty good number on the Inhumans.
Yeah, the three amigos are, off to a good start.
Yeah, I mean, dude, they've got like forever missiles and all kind of stuff. That's pretty cool. Black Panther jumps around that guy, and he actually gets himself blasted with this missile. Karnak's there and such. So as the fight keeps going on, Psycho Man just watches. Dude, he's not doing anything. And then he finally, hey, he's got the last unit that they just got from Alicia's house, which he's going to put into his ultimate weapon. And apparently this is his ultimate weapon, which is a giant, like, fear gun that will allow him to control the emotions of all the people of the earth. So he can make them scared, whatever.
Let me say something really quick. In the copy that you sent me, this was the last page of the FF story that I got.
Really?
Yep. It literally stopped at number 19 and then just leapt into the Silver Surfer story.
Why?
I don't know. So I'm excited to see what else happens now.
I'll send it to you again. I guess it didn't upload right. So he gets in his machine gun or his fear ray here to turn it on everyone as Black Bolt actually goes to attack him. And while Black Bolt's heading that way, he gets stopped. So there's like a wall there that stops him. And lo and behold, Lockjaw appears. And Lockjaw has got in tow, he's got the other Inhumans. He's got, was it Trigon? There's your phone. And then he's got Ben Grimm and the Human Torch. And they're all wanting to stop what the hell's going on with Psycho Man. So they're getting ready to attack. I do like the little part at the bottom where it's a special note. Suggest you study this picture because you'll never see much, as much power as this in your eyes again. And explains who everybody is as they head off to attack Psycho Man. But before they get there, this giant monster comes out of nowhere who actually goes and attacks everyone. He's got tentacles, looks like, something out of Lovecraft. And, of course, Black Bolt and the rest of them are giving, the best attack they can. And the monster is putting up this, just huge fight. And they finally, Ben throws it away. When he throws it away, they go to try and get into closer to attack, Psycho Man. But while he's watching everything that's going on, we find out that the Black Panther has actually slipped away from the fight and has got into the air ducts and is going to attack Psycho Man from behind. Who he sees him finally, and when he does, he zaps him with his little fear ray. And the most fearful creature, just like that fought Ben earlier in the issue, now attacks the Black Panther. And, he can't do anything for it. They get in a huge fight. And Black Panther's getting his butt kicked. And so while everybody's getting their butt kicked, now we see
Gorgon. All your audio just went out.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Okay, there we go.
Oh, okay. So Gorgon shows up, and he shows up because he's been looking for the Inhumans and Fantastic Four. When he gets there, he sees the giant fights going on, and they're losing. And he sees the monsters, so he just does his foot stomp, and the shockwave causes all the monsters to dissipate. Then they find, there's Triton there in a pressure cube, and he does the stomp again, and the cube goes away. And as they keep, he just goes down, as Gorgon keeps stomping, all the monsters that the people have been fighting go away. I guess just the shockwave there dissipates the illusion, so the heroes can actually make it to Psycho Man.
Mm-hmm.
When they get there, we find out that he's they kind of destroy his machine, and the ultimate ray's gone, and we learn that Psycho Man is actually from another universe. He's from like the subatomic world, which I don't know if that's the first appearance of this, because they talk about subatomica and everything else. That's where back in the early issues of FF, they always would go to the negative zone, the subatomic world, all this other stuff. We find out that he's actually a person from the subatomic world who has traveled to Earth to try and take over our universe and the Earth itself. And to do so, because he's a little teeny dude, he had to create a giant like robot, and his whole suit and body is a robot. As he attacks him, finally, Black Panther manages to get into the fight, and when he gets into the fight, Psycho Man's body is just limp. He's gone. He's left. And that's kind of how the issue ends there, or this part of the story does. They've defeated them, and they're going to head back to New York and celebrate with Reed and Sue, who are still back there prepping for the baby. So if that was the end of the FF issue, did you get all the pinups?
Well, actually, I didn't get the pinups, but it turns out it was just page 19 was at the end of all that other stuff, because I did read that.
Oh, okay. You did read that? All right.
So page 19 was
that's
just
weird. So just uploaded out of order. Yeah. Did you read this? This is a plot thing.
No.
Drawn by Stan and Jack. You skipped it?
I didn't get it.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. I'll send it. Yeah, it's a 3-page little story written by Stan Lee, or written and drawn by Jack Kirby. And it's Jack Kirby and Stan Lee trying to come up with the next superhero or supervillain. And they've got so here's Roy Thomas like hiding under the damn rug, and Stan Lee standing on top of him swinging the sword at everybody as I can't remember who this was, tries to head. There's Marie. I think it's Marie that's running the secretary there. Mm-hmm. Roy's like, hey, I'm going to do this. He calls himself the muscle of the Midwest. They all storm as, they're trying to come up with these different ideas from Kid Colt and just playing and all. When the fans attack the freaking office. And so the fans attack them. And, they're just such rabid fans. They beat them up. And at the end of the little 3-page thing, it's, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby are in a hospital after multiple infusions, several blood transfusion lasers. I'm having your art material sent over, Jolly Jack. The golden age of Marvel will continue in full flower. And he's like, enough said. He's got his freaking leg up. And there's the Mole Man. I'm going to get him later. So here's the pinups. Dude, I can't imagine how many of these issues have the pinups all ripped out. Because that was such a big thing back in the day. There's the Black Bolt pinup, Gorgon, Medusa, Karnak, Triton, of course, Crystal. Crystal looks terrible, though. Maximus the Mad. And then there's a, regular FF pinup. FF villain pinup. And then there's the FF themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's the Silver Surfer story. Did you get it at least?
I didn't get this first page, but I got the...
How in the hell did it not upload?
I don't know. Well, this is another Stan and Jack story.
Yeah.
But click on to the next page. I'll show you where I got it from.
This one? Or from here?
Yeah, go from here.
From here? Okay, yeah. So,
yeah.
Silver Surfer was, he was flying through New York, and he actually feels like sorrow and loneliness. So he heads out, and we discover from, in Fantastic Four Special 4 the year before, apparently the FF fought the Mad Thinker, who had created a creature he called Quasimodo and left him stuck in a computer. And that's what Silver Surfer's homing in on, because he feels the sorrow and the loneliness. So he's going to, see what in the world's going on. And as the actual pain keeps getting stronger, he zeroes in on it and discovers that it's it's a computer. And he says, "No, you're a machine." And the computer tells him, he says, "No, I think, I feel, I'm alive. I need to have some kind of human form." So the Silver Surfer uses the power cosmic to change him into a humanoid form, gives him that. And he wakes up, I've got hands, I can feel, Quasimodo lives. And he sees a reflection of himself, and he's like, "I'm ugly. That's why people don't like me." And Silver Surfer's cool. He's like, "No, dude, I've traveled the galaxy. Ugliness is only in those who see it." He's basically telling, "Dude, you're not ugly. You're just you." And of course, Quasimodo gets upset when the Silver Surfer touches him. He says, "You can't do that." He says, "Now, this was kind of stupid." So he says, "I was created for one purpose, programmed for one thing. My name stands for Quasi Motivational Destruct Organ." I'm like, okay. My mission is to destroy. It's kind of like MODOK, machine organism designed for killing. Isn't that it? And he attacks the Silver Surfer. Yeah. Blaze into him with his, freaking, whatever ray there. Of course, they get in a huge fight. And Quasimodo's trying to, tear up the people outside, throwing bricks on them. And Silver Surfer, he thought he left for dead, is not dead. He comes out and he's like, "Hey, I understand I unleashed you upon mankind by giving you human form. It's a mistake. I'll have to remedy it." And he says, "Hey, the power cosmic will, I'm going to shoot you with the power cosmic, and it will fix this problem." After they get into a couple fights here, and then after he manages to get he doesn't call it power cosmic, he calls it stellar force here. The energy there will crush you forever and change you back to, whatever. And Quasimodo is upset. He's like, "Hey, you can't do it." It's climbing up his hand, and it's making his body essentially disintegrate. And he rants and raves and climbs away until the whole, solar power there, power cosmic, whatever, actually dissolves him. He goes away. And the Silver Surfer's like, "Hey, life should never be taken easily. I had to correct that." And he flies away, but it actually turns him into like a statue there at the end. So it's taken his form away, or his living, moving form away, and he stuck him there on down the clock. And that's it. It's a little story, but I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I liked it.
While I was ranting and raving there.
And the book.
I don't know why it didn't upload everything. 55 pages.
It put 19 out of order. It put page 19 out of order. And I didn't get the pinups and like the little mini jacket stand story, but that's all right.
I may have to start seeing if I can just email them to you, because like I said, I've been sending them up, the way we have done it always, but I don't know. Yeah, dude, that's a horrible pinup though. Ugh, that's not the best picture of Crystal.
It's very Jackish. It's a nice photo of Johnny in the back though.
Of Johnny yeah, I do love the little all the little stuff left to the back, like, oh yeah, there. Yeah, that it's not even a great picture of Medusa. Dude, I've never read, what is it, the super famous Spider-Man cover with her like attacking Spider-Man on it, by Romita. I've never read it. But Romita does a much better Medusa than Kirby does.
Yeah. It was.
I mean, I thought it was a pretty cool issue. Just definitely for the time period, you could tell everything was being laid out. What year was this? It was. Oh, it don't even say. Nope, it don't say in here. Close it out and look it up. Hold up. $1967.
A little bit before me.
Yeah.
So I guess it's my turn to pick a book.
It's your turn to pick something. Yep.
Well, I'm going to pick a book that I have lying here that I got, and it's in awesome shape. And it's a book that was supposed to be in an omnibus that has supposedly been canceled for the pre-orders. God. It's a little bit of Phantom Stranger. Phantom Stranger
Phantom Stranger.
Phantom Stranger number 33. And Dead Man is in this issue.
Dead Man issue.
In this issue, Dead Man's Bluff and the Phantom Stranger, and this book is in like very fine condition.
That's 33.
That's 33.
I think that story actually continues in 34 too.
It probably does. So you're gonna have to send me this because I'm not sure I want to open this book. And if it's a continuing story, then we can just knock out both of them.
Yeah, it may be 30, 32. I'm looking right now. 34 is not the one I was thinking of. Let me look at. Because it's there. He's in 2 issues right there together in Phantom Stranger. Yeah, I know because I've read them all. I know it's terrible.
Yeah, you're a terrible human.
I try.
I so wanted that omnibus, though.
It may still come out. No, it's not 32. Maybe he's just in 33, and it's another issue later on because it says.
Dead Man was in a whole bunch of Phantom Stranger issues, so.
Yeah. Yes, this Black Orchid was in 33. That's another character I like. It's kind of weird.
No, cool. That was a spoiler, but you know.
No, in 32, not 33.
Oh, okay.
I was looking to see if that was trying to see what issue was I thought with Phantom Stranger in again. But yeah, he's in a bunch of those.
Okay, now I'm going to open the damn thing.
It's 39 he's in.
Oh, okay. There's an ad for Browning bicycles on the back cover. So, yeah, here's a little Dead Man's Bluff, R.I.P. Boston Brand. This is written by Arnold Drake with art by Mike Grell.
Really?
And edited by Joe Orlando. And this is the opening page, just to give everybody a sneak peek.
Yep.
And of course, now I want to skip through and somebody wrote 60 cents
in pencil
on the inside corner. So,
yep. Well, here's your trivia while you have it open. because I'm looking at it on the site. Dead Man's Bluff, issue 33, includes a letter from future comic book writer Mark Verheiden on the letters page.
Oh.
It's kind of cool to see the people who become comic book writers actually what they read when they were little.
There's an ad for superhero vinyl stickers.
Yes, I remember those.
I always wanted them, and but I wouldn't cut up the thing to mail them in. Great Grell art. 204 Revolutionary War soldiers for only $2.25. Hey, if you can get the mapping for those from somebody who creates files for 3D printing, you could bring those back.
Yeah, make all your own. You paint them one color.
And there's an ad for DC 100 pages for only 60 cents.
Before
More
they went
pages
to $1.
for your money. Biggest bargain in comics. There's 100 page. There's
100 pages.
Yeah, there's
Superman.
It shows 100-page Superman family, Detective Comics, Brave and the Bold, Batman and Adam, Tarzan, House of Mystery, and Young Love.
I read something talk about the romance comics the other day. They're doing I read the preview for it because it's supposed to come out in July. A Stan Lee's greatest hits comics omnibus. And it's got, I would, think it would have the usual stuff in it, but it's got, it doesn't have FF, 48 through 50 in it. It's got some other numbers. It's got Amazing Fantasy 15, but then it's got like Millie the Model 100 in it. I'm like, really? And then didn't he do another one, Patsy something?
Yeah. Patsy Cline? No.
Patsy comic. Patsy Walker.
Check this out. Remember the Big Jim toys?
Oh, they did break the little bricks?
Yeah, well, there was like a power gun in the back that you could attach to them, and you'd squeeze the trigger to make them do like muscle moves. And I guess this is like Big Jim's workout gym, and they showed like a whole bunch of other stuff because they were trying to turn Big Jim into, like the next G.I. Joe, kind of like a mix between G.I. Joe and James Bond. But there was like a contest to win $100 worth of Big Jim gear. And back in the day, that could have bought you a ton of toys. Yep. When a $100 bill was still worth $100 bill.
$100.
Yeah. Now it's worth about $59.95. Oh, and then they had the ad for the Task Force tank trap toys.
Yes, I remember those.
Then there's an ad for all the DC Treasury books.
I've got a few of those.
Yeah, well, we know I got a few of them. We're showing here because they did a bunch that they put a big first edition label across the front, but the top front.
Yeah, famous first editions. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's, they got Action Comics, Detective 27, First Sensational Comics with Wonder Woman, First Wiz Comics, Shazam. They show one of the Shazam ones, but it's the one where Shazam is standing with his hand on Billy Batchen's shoulder right next to him.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, there's a Tarzan one, Batman issue, and a Superman issue.
Cool.
And I'm just looking through, and this just looks awesome.
Yeah.
And spoiler: there's a human target story in here.
Oh, a backup story.
I don't know if it's a backup. I'll have to look to see if it's a backup story. No, it's part of the Phantom Stranger story, because Phantom Stranger is in the panels with this, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've read it. I mean, years, so I'll have to go back and
then
read the whole thing.
There's an ad. The line of DC superstars still only 20 cents. Ghosts, Superman, Commandy, Army at War featuring Sergeant Rock, Black Magic, The Shadow, Rima, and Phantom Stranger. And it's this issue of
Rima
Phantom Stranger.
Yeah, Rima the Jungle Girl.
There it is.
Cool.
I've
read a few Black Magic. They're pretty good. Back when they were doing all the horror stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
and
I'll get it. And
that's it. It's pretty cool. I opened it, so I guess I can read my copy. Which is better than my next choice, which would be to, have enough time to read Elric, the Dreaming City by Roy Boy Thomas and P. Craig Russell, because that's a long one.
Yeah, that's one of the 45. That's one of the 45-page ones, ain't it?
Yeah, and it's very wordy.
Dang it!
So,
all right, I'll get it over to you, man.
And until not My Little Pony, and until next week. Happy reading, and please join me Saturday afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern when I sit down and talk to Luke Stone about his Kickstarter of Hybrids, issue 8. That's right, issue 8. This is an ongoing series. Woo-hoo. Yay, independent comics. And we'll see you all next week. Everybody have a great weekend.